Hi everyone, Erin here from Real Wig Fun. So I am very excited about this one. This is probably the most excited that I've been about a new Jon Renau release in a very long time. So you may recognize this style. It's not a new style. It's called Miranda, but Jon Renau has brought it out in their Smart Lace Light Cap, which is incredible. So I'm excited to share and take a look at this with you. But as always, I wanted to thank Wigs by Patti's Pearls for supplying this wig so I could do a review for you today. So this beautiful style is available for order as of July 1st. However, if you head over to Wigs by Patti's Pearls, they are having a pre-order availability that you can get your hands on one of these, and you're going to want to act fast. Because like I said, this is the best style that Jon Renau has come out with, in my opinion, in a very long time. So I got this wig yesterday, and there were a few things that I wanted to do with the style before I did my review. But the good news is I taped all of those things. So stay tuned next, and I'm going to show you a few of the things that I did to Miranda for it to get looking like this. Okay, so I taped this before I did my review, and I wanted to show you what Miranda Light looked like straight out of the box before I did anything to it. And you know what? I often don't do modifications to my wigs, but I think there's a few things that I'd like to do. So number one, you can see there is the zigzag part. It's very common for many wigs to come in the zigzag part. That's very easy to fix. You're simply taking a wide tooth comb, run it down the area where you want to part your hair or your wig, and you would part it the same way you would go about parting your normal hair. Number two is the lace front. So on these light versions that Jon Renau has come out with, one of my observations is you're going to find that the lace comes longer than they do on their other wigs. So let me get up close so that I can show you that. So the lace is coming down all the way down to the bottom of my nail there. And what I love about these pieces is that the lace runs all the way down and into the ear tabs. So do you see that lace there? Now, I find that the lace is long on these and needs to be trimmed, which is unlike what you perhaps were used to with the traditional Jon Renau wigs. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to break the part, I'm going to trim the lace, and then the third thing that I found is that this style came with a little bit of box hair, meaning if you can see, it's kinked in a few places just from being in the box during delivery, from the time it was made to arriving at my house. And I've not combed through any of these fibers at all. I'm going to certainly do that as well. So why don't I give you a turn of what this style looks like on all sides before I do anything to it. So clearly my front, this is my right side, the back, my left side, and I think this is where we can see a lot of that cold set, a little bit of that cold set that I was talking about, and then back to the front. Okay, so breaking the part is really easy. Like I said, take your wide tooth comb, start back at the crown or wherever you want that part to start, and then comb down and figure out the position that you want. Now, what you might find, and we're seeing it in this front section, is that the hair may want to return back to where it's used to sitting, and you can play around with that. You could use the heat of your hands. This is not a heat-friendly fiber wig, so you can't apply heat. But you can work with your fingers. I often will use my nails or the base of my fingers and just get those fibers moving in the direction that you want. And you can see really quickly sort of the fibers falling back where I would like them to go. So there you go. You've got the part is broken out of that zigzag part, and already it's starting to look better, isn't it? Okay. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a bit of a comb out. And as you can see, it's quite piecey right now, right out of the box. But once we give this a comb, my guess is that it's going to start to look a little bit more natural. Let's just do this. Okay, so I think already that looks, with just a few things, we've just broken the part. I've used that wide tooth comb to comb through the fibers and bring this style sort of to life a little bit, and I'll do another quick turn so that you can see the brief changes or the small changes that have happened already. Okay, so like I said, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and trim the lace. And I know that many of you, not unlike myself, get nervous about doing this, but this is how I do it. I'm sure there are many other ways, but I'm going to pin back the sections so that it is away from that lace area of where I'm going to be trimming. So I'm just taking these tiny little clips and pulling them back. I'm certainly not going to be cutting this lace while it's on my head, but I'm just pinning back the hair while it's on, just to get it away from that lace. And that way I'll take the wig off. I know it looks a little silly. I'll take the wig off with these sections back, and that way the lace is free of any of that extra hair. So I'm gonna go ahead, take the wig off, and then I'm actually going to turn it inside out. So there is the lace. You can see it's quite long, isn't it? And then it runs all the way into the ear tabs. I'll turn it inside out. You might be able to get a better view of that lace. And you see that lace is turning in a little bit. It was shipped that way. So I'm not worried about that because I'm going to be trimming off a small section of this lace. So as far as how far am I cutting it, I want to cut it far enough so that it feels comfortable for me without hitting any of the fibers. Okay, so now the lace is trimmed, and here's my tip for you. Number one, go slowly, and number two, get the smallest amount that you want to trim. If you feel like after you've trimmed it that you still need to trim it again, you can absolutely go back later, but better that than cutting too much and then, you can't fix that. So anyways, let's take a look at that lace front. If you remember, the lace was coming down to about here. So let me show you. I mean, it looks so good, it's hard to even see. So now you really can't see that lace at all now that I've trimmed it. And because this style has that lace that runs all the way into the ear tabs, you can wear this style off your face and it look very natural. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to do is I am going to give this style a small and short soak in cool water. And that's going to help with a little bit of this box hair that I have going on. The other thing it will help to address is I am noticing that these synthetic fibers do have a little bit of unnatural shine. So the soak will help with that. And then even after I do the soak, if I still feel like there's an unnatural amount of shine, I can use a little bit of dry shampoo and that will take care of it. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna give this a soak. I filled up my wash basin with some cool water. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do is just gently comb through the lengths just to make sure that there's no tangles. There shouldn't be, given you just got this piece. And then I'm just laying it into the water and submerging it underneath the water. And I'm not agitating it or shaking it. I'm just letting it soak there, probably for about 2 to 5 minutes. And then I'm going to hang it up on my wig stand to dry. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the few things that I did do yesterday to get Miranda looking the way it is to you right now. And you know what? I have had this style in the past. In fact, it was one of the earliest wigs that I had, and the original Miranda had a lot more volume. So this, I think, is the perfect style for Jon Renau to have brought out in the LITE collection. To me, when I first put it on 2 years ago, it was too much volume. And I think they have really hit the nail on the head with the realistic density that this Miranda LITE has. I'm absolutely loving it. So as far as the cap features, this cap is incredible. What I specifically love about it is the lace that runs all the way into the ear tabs. You have a full monofilament top and a cap that is 100% hand tied. It is an incredibly comfortable cap. So why don't we go ahead, take Miranda off so that I can show you the inside of that beautiful cap. So I'm not sure if I mentioned, I have Miranda in the color 12 FS8, which is otherwise known as Shaded Praline, one of Jon Renau's most popular blondes for good reason. It's beautiful. So I'll go ahead and turn this inside out and we can take a look at probably one of the best parts about this style and this wig. And there is that full monofilament top. You have that lace that you saw me trim earlier that runs all the way down and around these ear tabs. And these ear tabs are covered with polyurethane, and then the fully hand-tied section. And there is a decent amount of stretch in this cap, so it makes it incredibly comfortable. And then you have the non-slip silicone strips. So this really helps to keep the nape down at the back of your head where it's supposed to. And then you have the Velcro type adjusters. So I did not adjust this out of the box. I have a 22-inch circumference head and it's fitting me beautifully. So why don't I get up close so that you can see that lace front once again, now that I have trimmed it. As you can see in this particular color 12 FS8, they have brought the lighter fibers up to the front, and I think it's done incredibly well. And the lace is running all the way around the ear tabs on either side. And what that really means is you could style this away from your face with absolute confidence. The quality of the lace is really good. And you know what? The fibers feel good. I have, in all transparency, a few collections ago, I was a little bit disappointed in the quality of the synthetic fibers that I was seeing on some of the Jon Renau pieces. But this style and this particular wig, the fibers feel like I recall them being, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. So these fibers are feeling really good, which I'm thrilled about. So why don't I do a turn so that you can see Miranda LITE from all sides. So I'll pull all of the hair forward. So although you have a good amount of hair, I don't think it's unnatural in any way. And I think that's what we're benefiting from this lighter version of Miranda. And then here is my right side with all of the hair back, and then the back. And you would have very natural hair movement because of that 100% hand-tied cap. And my left side, you can absolutely get an ear tuck due to the very natural density of this piece, and then back to the front. So as you can see, there's many beautiful layers, and I think it's incredibly feminine. But if we look at the measurements on this wig, the bang section here is 10 inches. So that is your shortest length right here. My face from hairline to chin is approximately 7 inches. The crown is 12.5. The sides, which is measured from the ear tabs down, is 10 inches. The nape is 12, and all together this wig weighs 4.8 ounces. So I hope you've enjoyed taking a quick look at Miranda LITE from the Jon Renau Smart Lace LITE Cap collection. It is gorgeous. So if you want to get your hands on one of these, head over to Wigs by Patti's Pearls and take advantage of that pre-sale. They will officially be available as of July 1st. Stay well and stay safe. Bye, everybody.